Welcome back to Neural Chatter. I'm Nova, and with me, as always, is the brilliant Leo.
Hey everyone, great to be here, Nova. We've got a really fascinating topic for you all today, something that's been, buzzing around the AI community quite a bit lately.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into Agentic AI. Now, if you're thinking, what even is that? Don't worry, we're going to break it down.
Yeah, so think of it this way. Agentic AI, it's basically AI with initiative, right? Unlike traditional tools you might be familiar with, like ChatGPT or even Midjourney, which kind of just sit there and wait for your input.
Right, they're like, tell me what to do.
Exactly. Agentic AI systems, they operate as autonomous agents. That means they can set their own goals, they make their own decisions, and they can execute complex tasks without you constantly having to prompt them. It's a pretty big shift, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. It's like giving AI a brain, but also, a bit of a proactive spirit. We're talking about systems that don't just respond, but they act. It's a whole new ballgame.
So, building on that proactive spirit, what really sets these agentic AIs apart from just really fancy tools is their core capabilities.
Yeah, it's not just about doing one thing really well. It's about a whole suite of abilities that work together.
Exactly. First off, they can monitor an environment. So imagine, it's not just sitting there waiting for you to type something in. It's actually observing, taking in information from its surroundings, whatever that digital environment might be. It's aware,
Right, so it's aware. It's not just a passive recipient of commands. It's got its digital sensors on, you could say?
Precisely. And then once it's got that information, it can prioritize and pursue objectives. This is huge, Nova. It's not just a glorified checklist. It's deciding, okay, given everything I'm seeing, this is the most important thing to go after right now.
Wow, so it's got a strategic mind. It's not just ticking boxes, but figuring out which boxes to tick and why.
Yeah, precisely. And it doesn't just stick to the plan rigidly. It can adapt to new data. So if something changes in that environment it's monitoring, it can adjust its objectives, its priorities, its whole approach on the fly. If a new piece of information comes in, it's not just going to crash or wait for you. It'll figure it out.
That's incredible. It's like having an incredibly flexible, self-correcting assistant. And then finally, tying all that together, they can execute multi-step workflows.
Oh, absolutely. This is where it gets really powerful. Instead of you having to say, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do that, the agentic AI can string together a whole sequence of actions, often quite complex ones, to achieve that overarching goal it's prioritized. It's not just one command. It's a whole, project manager in a box.
Yeah, it's connecting all the dots itself. So it's not just reactive, it's proactive, adaptive, and can handle complexity all on its own. That's truly what makes it unique.
So we've talked about these incredible capabilities, Nova, but, it always helps to see them in action. How is this actually playing out in the real world right now?
Right, because it sounds, almost like sci-fi when you describe it that way, but it's really not. There are already some fantastic examples. One of the ones that first got a lot of buzz was tools like AutoGPT and AgentGPT.
Oh yeah, I remember those hitting the scene. They were open source tools, right? And the idea was you give it a goal.
Exactly. You'd say something like research competitors, summarize, and then email findings. And it would string together all these different LLM prompts, figure out the steps, execute them all on its own. It wasn't just generating text. It was doing a research project.
Which is, pretty wild when you think about it. It's not just answering a question. It's performing a series of actions to achieve that outcome. And it's whoa, that's a whole new level.
Absolutely. Another really practical application we're seeing, which is, I guess, less glamorous but super impactful is in logistics, like warehouse AI bots.
Oh, yeah, like the ones that track inventory, adjust logistics. I mean, I've heard stories about them even rerouting shipments automatically if there's like a snag in the supply chain.
Exactly. So if a truck breaks down or there's a weather delay, the system doesn't just alert a human. It might proactively identify alternative routes, reassign inventory, or even contact other carriers. It's truly adjusting to real-time events without a person needing to intervene in every single step.
That's that's huge for efficiency, obviously, but it's also a great illustration of that adapt to new data and execute multi-step workflows capability we just talked about. It's constantly monitoring, optimizing.
Yeah, and then there's a more personal side to this too, which I find really interesting, AI personal assistants. And I don't just mean hey, set a timer for 5 minutes.
Oh, you mean like the next gen ones, the ones that actually proactively do stuff?
Precisely. Think about scheduling agents that don't just wait for you to tell them to book an appointment. They might proactively optimize your calendar, maybe look for common meeting times, or even, get this, negotiate prices for services you need.
Whoa, wait, negotiate prices? So like it could haggle with, I don't know, a plumber for me. That's wild. That's a true agent.
Yeah, it's not just a secretary, it's a personal advocate, essentially. And then on the more technical side, another really powerful example is DevOps AI agents.
Okay, tell me about those. That sounds like a whole other beast.
So these are AIs that monitor software systems. And if issues arise, like let's say a server suddenly starts throwing errors, instead of just alerting an engineer, the AI might actually apply fixes itself without a human in the loop.
So it's not just telling you there's a problem, it's diagnosing and then performing the repair like autonomously?
Exactly. It identifies the anomaly, understands potential solutions based on its knowledge base, and then executes the necessary commands to resolve it, all before a human might even be aware there was an issue. It's a huge leap in how we manage complex technical infrastructures.
Wow. So these aren't just like theoretical concepts. These are actual practical applications that are really changing the game across so many different sectors, from personal productivity to logistics to software management. It really underscores how powerful these agentic AIs can be.
It truly does. And I think that leads us perfectly into our next segment, which is a question that I think a lot of people are asking. Why is agentic AI blowing up now? Why is this the moment?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? Because AI has been around for a while, but this particular flavor, this autonomous agentic AI, feels like it's really hit an inflection point. And I think a big part of it, honestly, is the sheer power and reliability of the large language models themselves.
Oh, definitely. If you think about models like GPT-4, they've become so incredibly reliable that they can actually string together these really complex actions. Back in the day, a single prompt might have been okay. But chaining multiple steps, that would have been a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, like the earlier models, bless their hearts, they were good for, a single task. But asking them to plan, execute, then evaluate, and then take the next step based on that evaluation, that just wasn't reliable enough. But now with, the massive scale of these LLMs, they have this internal consistency and understanding that allows for that multi-step reasoning.
Exactly. It's like the fundamental building blocks got strong enough to actually support the elaborate structures we're now trying to build with them. And it's not just the models themselves, is it? It's also what they can connect to.
Oh, you mean the APIs and plugins? That's huge, right? Because an LLM by itself is just, text in, text out. But once you give it the ability to actually interact with external tools, that's where the real magic happens.
Yeah, that's the game changer. Suddenly, it's not just chatting. It can fetch data from a database, send an email, even manipulate software. It's like giving it a pair of hands to actually do things in the digital world, not just talk about them.
Right. It's almost like the LLM is the brain and the APIs and plugins are the arms and legs that allow it to interact with the environment. Without those, it's just a brain stuck in a jar, so to speak.
Exactly. And then, another factor I think we can't ignore is the pressure companies are under right now.
Oh, absolutely. The economic climate, the push for efficiency. I mean, companies are just under immense pressure to automate knowledge work. Costs are rising. There's always a need for greater efficiency, and agentic AI just fits that need perfectly.
Yeah, because if you can have an AI agent that can, handle routine tasks, research, even some decision making, it frees up human employees to focus on more creative or strategic work. It's not just about cutting costs, it's also about optimizing human capital.
Right. And it's not just about like automating simple, repetitive tasks, which we've been doing for ages. This is about automating knowledge work, which is inherently more complex and frankly has been harder to automate until now.
Precisely. So it's really this perfect storm of super capable LLMs, the ability for these LLMs to connect with the outside world through tools, and then this huge business demand for automation. All of that just sort of coalesced to make agentic AI the hot topic it is right now.
Yeah, it's like all the pieces of the puzzle just clicked into place at the same time, which I guess sets us up really nicely to think about what all of this, actually means for the future.
It absolutely does, Leo. I mean, thinking about what we've just discussed, this really does feel like a pivotal moment. So what do we think this agentic AI, this AI with initiative, really means for our future? Like, how could it fundamentally change how we, I don't know, work and live?
Oh gosh, Nova, I think it's going to be pretty profound, honestly. Like if you think about work, um, the way software engineers operate or marketers or even financial analysts, I mean, they might start delegating entire projects, not just tasks, but whole projects to AI agents.
That's wild to think about. Like, instead of a human project manager overseeing a team of humans, you could have like an AI project manager delegating to other AI agents, or at least a human PM delegating a chunk of the project to an AI team.
Exactly. Imagine a marketing team saying, okay, agent, research competitor strategies, draft some ad copy, optimize our spend for the next quarter, and then monitor the results. And the agent just does it. Or a software engineer saying, hey, build me this microservice from scratch, integrate these APIs, and then deploy it.
Wow, that's not just a tool, that's like a team member, effectively, albeit a very, very fast and tireless one. So it changes the role of the human too, right? From doing the actual grunt work to perhaps overseeing the AI or setting higher level strategic goals for them.
Yeah, it elevates the human role, theoretically. Less about the tactical execution, more about the vision and direction. And it's not just work either, is it? I mean, think about our personal lives.
Oh, definitely. Smart homes are already a thing, right? But imagine a smart home that truly understands your habits and needs, not just reacting to commands. Like, it doesn't just turn on the lights when you walk in. It anticipates when you'll be home, adjusts the thermostat based on your preference and the weather forecast, orders groceries when the fridge is low, and I don't know, even suggests a new recipe based on what you have and what you usually like.
Yeah, like a truly personal assistant that isn't just waiting for you to tell it what to do, but it's proactively optimizing your environment for you. It's like, hey, Leo, I noticed you've been working late this week. I've adjusted the lighting to reduce eye strain, and I've preheated the oven for that lasagna you like.
Right? It's not just reactive, it's proactive and adaptive. That's where the agentic part really shines, I think, in a personal context. But with all this incredible capability and autonomy, it it naturally brings up a really big question, doesn't it?
Oh, you're talking about, uh, accountability, right? And liability. Because this is where it gets really, really murky. If an agent is making independent decisions, even complex ones, and then, makes a mistake or a bad decision, who's actually liable?
Exactly. Is it the developer who coded the AI, the company that deployed it, the user who gave it the initial prompt, even if the AI then went off and did several steps on its own? It's not like a faulty hammer where you know who made it. This is a system that learns and adapts.
It's a huge legal and ethical quagmire. If an AI agent, say a financial one, makes a decision that loses millions of dollars, or a self-driving agentic car makes a decision that leads to an accident, where does the buck stop? Our current legal frameworks aren't really set up for this level of autonomous agency from a non-human entity.
No, they're really not. And it's something we're going to have to grapple with as these systems become more prevalent and more capable. It's not just about the technical challenge of building these agents, but the societal challenge of integrating them responsibly. The future looks incredibly efficient and, personalized, but also full of new complexities we haven't really had to face before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nova, we've covered quite a bit today, haven't we? From what agentic AI even is, essentially AI with initiative, to its incredible capabilities like monitoring, prioritizing, and executing multi-step workflows.
We really have, Leo, and those real-world examples really cemented it for me. AutoGPT, warehouse bots, even those future personal assistants. It's not just theoretical anymore. It's happening. And it's fascinating to see how the convergence of powerful LLMs, APIs, and these open source frameworks is just accelerating everything.
Exactly. And the pressure on companies, let's not forget that. Everyone's looking for efficiency, but as we just discussed, the future with agentic AI is super exciting, but also brings some big questions, especially around accountability.
Right. It's not just about what they can do, but what the implications are when they do it autonomously. It's a whole new frontier for how we work, how we live, and how we even define responsibility. It's truly transformative.
So, definitely a lot to think about, folks, as agentic AI continues to, evolve and integrate into our lives.
A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in to Neural Chatter today. We really appreciate you joining us for this deep dive into agentic AI.
Yeah! Thanks so much for listening. And be sure to join us next time on Neural Chatter, where we'll be delving into the fascinating world of neuromorphic computing. You won't want to miss it.
See you then.